Alrighty, boys. It is time for our first gun breakdown of the year. Welcome back to the channel. Collision Works here. We're going to be working out of Gun Trips U, or Gun U Trips, I guess, out of the Patriots Playbook. Gentlemen, this is a high-level offense. Great for blocking against major meta pressure. Great for, honestly, just spreading the field, getting to read the defense, and really take advantage of a lot of weak points. So we're going to go ahead and get started today. We're going to be operating against man coverage first. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the plays of what I like to run against man coverage. And yeah, let's get right into it. So first off, before we do it, I just want to say this might be a little longer of a video, so please bear with me. We're going to have a lot to cover today, but it's going to be a lot of good stuff and easy to digest. So without further ado, let's get started. So against man coverage in my audibles, I like to have corners, tight end whip. This play is awesome to have that stock whip route on your tight end. You obviously can't assign this after, for your hot routes, because the tight end is going to be on the line of scrimmage for this formation. So really good to have this play as well. We also like to run, we like Scat if you don't have a slot apprentice. I do recommend getting one if you can, but if you don't, I'll show you guys how we can supplement and work around it with Scat. Also, what's really good is curl flats as well. So it's just going to be those four. You don't need to have these in your audibles. I'm sorry I said that. This is just 4 plays you can work out of. So let's go and get started. We're going to be working out of tight end whip to start off here. And we're going to be going against a, we're just going to do like a cover 1 with a spy. That way there's no middle zone defender. And obviously I'll be breaking down, what we can be looking at, against a zero blitz or a cover 1 with a robber. So let's get right into it, gentlemen. So to start off here, tight end whip. What I like to do is I like to put my running back on a wheel route. I like to slot my I like to corner my slot receiver, and I like to put a drag on the far side here. So go ahead and check out the play art. One thing I will mention is sometimes this whip route can hit the drag, at least in practice mode. In a real game, I have not had this problem, but in practice mode, it can happen. So if you don't like this, you can put the B route on an in route, or you can put the tight end on a out, and you can keep your drag. That's completely up to you. For the sake of this, I'll go ahead and just leave it how I'd set it up in-game, which is just a drag. I've had no problems with this in-game. Now, our read progression here is going to be RB first. It's going to be that corner route. Then we're going to look to our wheel. And then we're going to go ahead. If those guys are both bagged, we're going to check down with the tight end or the drag. Now, the corner route is always going to be my first read. Now, what's very important about this throw is you need to throw this as a bullet freeform 5 o'clock away from the defender. That way we can throw this ball open every single time. Again, I'm going to show you guys, it's so important to throw this early rather than late into play. If you throw this late into play, it's either just going to go out of bounds, or it's going to be in a position where the DB can make a play on it and readjust his body, and you just don't want that. So go ahead and hop into the lab for a little bit, get used to this throw. After about 10 times running it, you'll see how I'm throwing it, you'll feel it. I'll give you an example of what a late throw looks like, and then we'll move on to the other routes, because obviously this isn't the only thing getting open here. But this is an example of like a late throw. And you see right there, it's just it's much safer to throw it sooner, because it's either your your receiver's going to catch it or nobody is, and obviously that is the safest thing we have. Now, obviously against cover 1 and zero blitzes, the running back is going to get open on this wheel route every single time, as long as you get enough time to be able to throw it. Just get used to doing a free form overhead. As you see, I underthrew that. It's my fault. I'll show it to you again. Here you go, wheel route by the running back. Go ahead, let him get open, and go ahead and okay, well listen, I didn't know Joey Porter had that in him. I guess Joey Porter has the guts to do so. But gentlemen, you guys know the wheel routes do great against man this year. And so just keep this in mind. This is a throw that you can make most of the time. But hey, Joey Porter, it might just be bagging this play as a whole. But just keep in mind that the wheel is going to do a great job, as you all know. And if it's against a zero blitz, obviously, we'll be breaking down how to stop the blitzes later in the video, but if there is no safety up top, the post route does really, really well at getting separation. Yeah, I don't even have a big-time route runner here. It's just Devin Hester. So, keep this in mind. Post does really, really good as well. So let's go ahead and get to our next play. Before we jump to a completely different play, I should break down Scat real quick in case you guys don't have a slot apprentice. As you see here, it just comes with the corner route that we want, so we can just put our tight end on an out route here, and then you can just, slant Hester, and, that should do fine against man coverage. As you see here, we're always going to be looking for that 5 o'clock freeform throw that we're looking for. But as you see, the separation just isn't as good as a slot apprentice corner route. So, this is a slot apprentice corner route, and this is Scat's corner route. you see they cut at a different angle, and I like the Slaughter Princess one a lot more, but you can still put some work in with it, so just keep that in mind. So let's go to our next play. Now, the next play we're going to be running is corners. Now, gentlemen, I should mention that corners is better to come out in, simply because when you audible to corners, if you watch Devin Hester here on the left side of your screen, you'll see he'll step in on this play. This is a lot harder to detect if you're coming out of the huddle with this play. You won't see him motioning closer to the line. He'll just come out set like that. But, you know, not many players are going to notice that unless you audible to it. Then it kind of gives away what you're running. But for this setup, all I'm going to do here is block my running back. But instead of blocking him, I'm going to be putting him on a check and release. That way, Joey Porter, who's manned up to him, will not drop back into a third or any type of zone. When you do a block and release, he'll make sure he plays the running back. So just keep that in mind. Now, typically short corner routes to the short side of the field kind of get bagged more than across the field. But with corners, as you'll see here, Devin Hester gets open really, really well here against Richard Sherman. That's just great separation. And don't forget the corner route on the right side of the field. This corner is a lot better than the scat corner at beating man coverage. So, you know, if we just take the philosophy from the tight end whip corner, we can go ahead and throw this at that 5 o'clock, and you're just going to dominate outside the hashes in one-on-one coverage. Now, of course, you have the drag that comes stock with this play, like we kind of had in tight end whip to beat man. I don't really throw to my tight end in this play often. I kind of just use the tight end to keep the user at bay, have that corner play the middle of the field. That way I can attack the outside. But, you know, if there's a situation where you can throw it, absolutely. Probably better against a zero blitz if they're going to be playing the outside or something like that. But just keep that in mind for this play. Everything here will beat man coverage, but you really need to watch the lurker and see how your opponent is playing the field. So just keep that in mind. Now, our next play here is going to be curl flat. Now, this play was not founded by me, so I need to give credit to Goose Guy. He is the one, from what my knowledge possesses, he is the one that has found this special smart routed post route. So shout out to Goose Guy. I'm going to try and come out in a easy zero blitz to block so I can show you guys this play. Now, the post route here by Jerry Rice gets decently open alone, but if we put him on a smart route, as you'll see here, as I snap the ball, if we don't get screamed at, he will be able to run right by the defender without making any contact, as you see right here. I'm going to give you guys another example of this. Let me try and block somebody and give me a little more time, just so you guys can see what's going on here. Remember, you must always smart route this post. We got time, we got time. Yes, we do. So as you see right here, every single time, as we unfortunately drop it, we're going to be able to beat that man coverage without even touching him. We can run right by him. Now, if you're going to be running this play, I recommend this on, you know, something like 1st and 10 if you want to come out in it, maybe 2nd and 8. You just want to be careful. You don't want to be in a, you know, 2nd and 18 where that post is going to go a little too deep. I'm not saying you won't get separation, but for how I run my offense, I don't want it getting too deep because I also want a fairly, you know, quick to run play, and you know, that's obviously going to take more time to develop. So if you are going to run this, just know you can do what we did earlier where you can put your tight end on an out route. You can slant Hester if you want. That way you're going to get a slant post combination in the middle of the field. And typically in that scenario, the user has to pick one or the other, and whatever one he doesn't pick is going to get open, and vice versa. So if you want, you can also put Chad Johnson here on a drag. If you want to block your running back, you can. I recommend a check and release against man coverage, or you can put him on a wheel if the guy is not sending pressure. But just know this is a deadly, deadly play against man coverage. So yeah, gentlemen, just keep this in mind. Drags are really, really good. Even if they do get covered on the back end of the play, if you have inside positioning, you can always pretty much this year come down with it. So let's go ahead and get to zone coverage. We're going to be attacking default zone, then we're going to be attacking match. So let's get right into it. Alrighty, gentlemen, so we're going to be going up against cover 3 first. I'm just going to do cover 3 sky here out of big nickel. Now again, zone is going to be set to default. We're not going to be going up against match just yet. We're going to be starting off with scat. Now for this setup here, I like to streak my B receiver, and then I like to out route my tight end. I leave it just like this. The wheel route is really, really good by the running back, and I like the little hitch or the little whatever route by Hester over there on the left side of the field. Really, really good as well, especially if they're playing a hard flat and they're taking that user away from that little hitch area. Now, of course, we can always hit this corner out here. What is very important to know about this offense as I throw a terrible read is you always want to look underneath. Something that I've learned, you want to take the guaranteed short yard before you look deep. So just keep that in mind when you are using this offense. You're always going to want to take what the defense gives you. As you see right here, if he's going to play underneath, we can go ahead hit over the top. If he's going to, shade up top and cover the corner, take underneath. The running back gets open very easily as well in this play. I'll show this to you as well. So if I just want to snap here and dump off to the tight end, you see, what do we get there? 8 yards. I mean, it's a really easy chunk yard play and very, very dominant. And if they're going to play a hard flat, just know that you can take advantage over the top. Now, this is what I'm going to be using for cover 3. What I also like to run against cover 3 is going to be tight end whip. This is what we were running at the start of the video. With tight end whip against cover 3, what you can do here is you can put B on a streak and you can corner your slot receiver again. As you guys see, we have a flood yet again. But what's nice about this is the out route by our tight end. If this is a CPU on this Eric Berry linebacker here, he's going to go down towards that tight end to the flat. And if we leave this out route here by Bo Jackson, Cam Chancellor here on the left side of the screen, he's going to peel out to the sideline as well. So what that's going to do is it's going to create a real soft spot here in the middle of the field that we can throw this post route. Very, very effective, especially if they're going to be playing a Mabel where that middle of the field is weaker. We have that option. And what's nice about this setup is that post route by Devin Hester is really going to keep that user towards the middle of the field, and that's going to open up the sideline for us. So as we see here, we're going to get Rice open. I could have had a better pass there. I shouldn't have let it so far up. But you guys see that this offense is very, very good at attacking the user and really spreading the field out so he can't be present in each and every play. So just keep that in mind. The out route by the tight end and the running back create a soft spot in the middle of the field to take advantage with this really short post route. So this is what I'm going to be running against cover 3. I will show you guys one last play out of Pat's Y out. Now this isn't something I'm really running all the time, but it's not too bad. This type of concept here where we're having like double streaks has gotten a little more popular this year. Now, what people are doing here is they're going to be streaking Johnson. And if you guys can see, Jerry Rice here is on a wheel route going up the sideline. So what we're going to do is we're going to streak Chad Johnson, leave Rice on that wheel, and then I like to do a little short out here by the tight end. So the goal of this is to have that streak pull that outside third just in time for you to throw the wheel route right underneath it. Now you see, you could throw this sooner against a hard flat. Against a purple, he's going to kind of leak up a little bit and kind of, provide that coverage of the sideline. But against a hard flat, I mean, this wheel route will absolutely cook. But you guys see how this works and how it operates. That streak on the far side of the field is pulling that deep zone further upfield. That way there's a soft spot right underneath it where we can hit the wheel. This is something you guys can mix in very effectively against cover 4 and cover 3. And of course, as well as it's the same philosophy as tight end whip where you get a soft spot in the middle of the field with that post route. So just keep this in mind. If you want to try and mix it up a little bit, this is definitely an option that can work. But, against purples or depending on how their zone depths are, you guys just got to be careful and see how the opponent's playing it. So let's go to cover 4 and get deeper into this guide. Let's do it. Against cover 4, I mean, gentlemen, it's going to be very, very similar to what we were going up against with cover 3. We're going to come out in cover 4 quarters here. Now, we can start off here in Scat again. We can do basically the same exact setup here. Again, you're always going to want to hit your check downs. What's nice about cover 4 is if they are going to play that sideline in a hard flat or anything like that, you will have your little check or your hitch by Hester here. That will get covered, or open, sorry, while the linebacker is covering the flat. So let's say Cam Chancellor here is playing the running back. He gets all the way out there to the sideline. We have this hitch right there that's going to be open for us, a nice little check down. And, like I said, one of the key points of this offense is just taking those easy yards that are always going to be guaranteed. Right here, cover 4, hitting the sideline here with Jerry Rice. Obviously you just got to watch how that DB is playing the sideline and see how he's operating to know if you want to hit the high or low. See right here, as the middle third actually goes out to the sideline. I guess he's in a 3 rec hook. Is that what that is? Must be. But, if that's the case, we just know that the middle of the field is going to get open as well. So if he's going to play something like that, we can do just like this. Hit that middle of the field with a slant. So just keep that in mind, boys. Very, very similar, excuse me, of how you're going to set it up against cover 3, with just maybe a few tweaks. If that linebacker is going to be, you know, playing towards the sideline, you just put this little hitch on a slant. He'll get open in the middle of the field. So really, really good. I'll go ahead and show you guys now how tight end whip works as well. So gentlemen, tight end whip, like I was saying earlier, basically the same exact philosophy here as we were doing earlier. Middle of the field is going to get wide open. You can also hit your flood on the right side, just like this. Just freeform that. It's very important to freeform, as the X factor causes a breakup. But as you guys see there, plenty of room to be able to make a catch, make a big play for us. Play this to you all again. Try and step up here. Beautiful throw there by Warren Moon. You guys get the picture. You know, you can run a lot of these same cover 3 beaters against cover 4 as long as it is not matched. So just keep this in mind. I don't want to keep milking this. I will show you guys Y out one more time against cover 4, and then we'll go to cover 2, and then we're going to be going up against our match defenses. Against cover 4 quarters, without match on, I like to just out route and streak my 2 players. Let this develop. Just like that, and you have that little pocket underneath. Now, obviously, gentlemen, like I was saying, this isn't my favorite go-to play, but listen, it works. It is an option at times, so just know it's there if you guys can hit it. Yeah, that's it. Just going to use that streak to pull those deep zones and get yourself a little open pocket underneath. So let's go ahead and get to cover 2. Alrighty, boys, now against cover 2, plays we're going to be running here is we're going to be running tight end deep out, and we're also going to be using corners. So we'll start here with deep out. What we're going to be doing here to take advantage of the cover 2 shells, we're going to be putting our tight end on an out route. We're going to be putting our B receiver here on the far side of the field on a fade. It's very important you put him on a fade rather than a streak. And then we're going to be putting our RB receiver on a streak, just like this. So the goal here is to go ahead and get our fade route to get outside. Going to get pressed, and we can freeform that and have that streak in the slot to be able to pull that zone just far enough so we can get an open pocket. Now, I know he had a dropped catch there. It's simply just because he is, you know, an X factor for the safety. But just keep that in mind. You guys can just really laser this in and get this every single time against a cover 2. Obviously, we are going to need to be careful depending on their zone drops. If that's the case, we can hit underneath with a tight end. So if we think that that corner is, you know, 20 yards upfield, you know, we can go ahead and hit that tight end late in the play. But this is just a nice little bomb play I like to have against cover 2 to get some real big chunk yards. What we can also run here is corners. Corners can be really, really good if you go ahead and streak your tight end, and you can put your running back on a out route. This basically just gives you a little high-low here, and you know, you can hit your tight end over the middle. If they're really playing a true cover 2, he's going to get wide open, and that corner route on the short side of the field is going to be able to pull the corner enough to go ahead and hit the running back underneath. Now, if you have a running back apprentice, I would recommend a table route here. But if you don't, it should still be chill. Go ahead and hit your running back here if he will get open for us. And again, if you guys have jukebox, you guys can really make some big plays here. As well as if they are in a cover 2 shell, you can go ahead and put your B receiver on a hitch. Forgot to mention that you can put him on a little smoke screen. That's what you were going to call it here. So setup can be like this. That way, if that corner's dropping back, you can just go ahead and hit him underneath, make a play. This year, there's so much, you know, yak abilities just to be able to get as much yards as you can. So just keep it simple here against cover 2. Again, I like deep out, and I like corners. Works really, really well. And yeah, we're really attacking each weak point here of the cover 2. And of course, if that corner's playing underneath, we can go ahead and hit our corner. Damn, I just got hit. Anyway, boys, let's get to match coverage. Let's go. And boys, one more setup for cover 2. Sorry, I forgot to mention this. We can put our tight end on an out route and corner our slot receiver. Streak our short side receiver, just like this. So you guys see here, we have potential to get Jerry Rice open over the top on the corner route. Obviously, he got bagged there. If that safety is going to be playing that side of the field, you can hit your post down the middle, and the streak on the left side is going to be able to pull that safety on the other half to leave this middle wide open for us. And there's a little dump off you can have to your running back, a little check down with your tight end as well. So just keep this in mind. Just a little something to attack the deep middle of the field. As we know, cover 2 is typically weaker. Alright, boys, so tight Y out against cover 4 palms. This is with match on. What I like to do here is I like to streak my tight end. I like to wheel my running back and put my slot receiver on a drag. This is going to be our play art. What happens here is the purple will match up against the running back, turning into man-to-man, and that drag on the back end is going to kind of peel him back late into the play, and that's just going to leave that wheel wide open right over the top. Now, as you guys know on this channel, I don't really cover match too much just because I don't know all the concepts to it, but gentlemen, we are learning. And from my knowledge right now, from what I'm hearing from people who do know about it, is match is just simply kind of broken right now in most formations. So, you know, this is just something that I've come across that has taken advantage of it. So just keep this in mind. This is working as of September 1st. So just note you guys can do this and have this option. So this might get patched, probably will, from my understanding how others are talking about match. So just know, for the meantime, this is viable. Alrighty, gentlemen, now blocking meta blitzes out of U trips. This is one of the best formations you can do it. Really, really effective. The tight end being on the line operates great, especially with the improved blocking mechanics by the O-line this year. So we're going to go ahead and get started against DB Fire. And I guess you guys can also get a little DB Fire set up in here as well for making it this far into the video. So let's get right into it. So typically what you're going to see here in a DB Fire setup is going to be a pressed look. It is baseline. Sorry, I forgot to do this. So baseline, press, pinch your D line. You're going to blitz your user and you're going to hover right over top of this center just like this. Now this is going to be the setup for this blitz. I'll go ahead and snap this play normally so you guys can see the pressure generates. And just like that, we're getting it, you know, dual edge heat. We all get it. DB Fire is really, really good. It's been the last 3 years. So honestly, probably the last forever it's been in the game. Very, very good blitz. Now, to combat this, what we're going to do is just let me set up the defense one more time. Again, this is baseline, press, pinch your D-line, and blitz this user and hover. This is typically what you're seeing with a DB blitzer. Now, what you can do here is, you know, just blocking your tight end and miking the opposite. This is going to work really, really well. It's like this. As long as you just step up, move around, it's going to be really, really good. Now, typically, when I am blocking more people, I always kind of want to block my running back more. I'd rather lose my running back than a tight end. But, you know, with this, you know, formation, how good it does at blocking with a tight end, sometimes I am going to sacrifice him. Now, if I wanted to block my running back here, it's very important to know that however you slide your offensive line, the direction you slide opposite of that side is where the running back will go to. So if we slide right here, we know the running back's going to go to the left. So I'll go ahead and ID this guy here so my running back knows to pick him up. I slid right, so the offensive line will pick up the right side blitzer. I'll go ahead and snap this ball now with the blitz coming. As you see here, we're able to pick it up and we're able to, you know, move around, find time, and try and hit our target. Again, when you slide right, your running back will, you know, go out to the left. If you slide left, the running back will go out to the right. Show this to you one more time. It's very, very important to know, that way you guys can, you know, block as little people as possible and still get the effective blocking you need. So this is slid right IDing the running back side blitzer. Let's snap this. Now, obviously, your user isn't going to be coming in there. If it is, that honestly might be good news for you because you'll have somebody else open. But in a real-world scenario, we know that that's going to get picked up. The user's not typically going to blitz, but not bad pressure, though. So that's how we can block the DB Fire blitz. Let's go ahead and get to the 3-3-5 wide, also known as the 3-3 Cub. Let's go ahead and break that down. So now, boys, against a 3-3 Cub blitz, what you're going to see here is, I think what most players are doing here is they're coming out of 3-3, they're going to 3-3 Cub, audibling to Mike Blitz or Zone Blitz, selecting it and pinching the defense with RB and down and left stick. Then they'll hover here, offense will snap, they'll peel off, and they'll get that easy B-gap pressure. Now, what you can do here is, obviously, we can always do our traditional slide if we want to block our running back. Do something like this. Now, if I snap this here with the block running back, that will help pick it up. And if they are going to be doing the contain glitch on you, what you're going to have to do here is ID the defensive tackle. And that's going to help solve that pressure. So what you're going to do is just ID this D tackle. And you can do it just like that. Make sure that whenever you are IDing, that is the last adjustment you make. Or else if you're doing hot routes after it, it could reset your ID. So we can go and snap this. As you see, we got plenty of time to move around and make a read. So that is going to be the blitzes I'm going to be covering today, gentlemen. As you see, with the tight end U trips. It's just a great formation to block these blitzes. Having your tight end on the line really changes the entire blitz protection game. Helps out a lot. If you guys have any questions on blitzes that you're struggling with, please let me know in the comments and I will respond. Maybe I'll make a YouTube short about it, how to do it. Just let me know and we will get it solved for you. Gentlemen, this is going to be it for the U-Trips, guys. Just a little part one. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'd love to get back to you. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you find it useful. I'll see you guys soon with some gameplay of the guide, just so you all can see it in action and not just see, you know, a little breakdown of the plays. I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing, how I'm operating in certain situations with this, just so it can be fully transparent and we can get better together. So, gentlemen, again, thank you for your time. I hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.